Hello, fellow truffle lovers. Welcome back to the Truffle Show, the only place that truly celebrates our favorite subterranean culinary gem. This rare mushroom that grows on the roots of trees and has the most intoxicating flavor makes it this incredibly luxe food product. It's sought after, it's amazing. And on this show, we talk about the freshies, and we also talk about the incredible products that make truffle way more accessible than always just having the fresh. And I don't know where you're joining us from, but thank you for joining us. Wherever you're joining us, you're probably hot. It's super hot right now. It is like full summer out there. Humid, right? Heat advisories. Look at these guys. I mean, these are summer truffles, and they're hot. They're like, oh my God, oh my God. So here I am. I'm planning this whole show about not having to heat up your kitchen. And we had some special guests at Sabatino today, and I got my cooking on and made some fresh pasta, and it was incredible, I will say that. But I was hot. Like I did have to heat up the kitchen. Very proud of my food, obviously. But it's time to talk refreshments, right? Let's start with our refreshments. So we set out to make a sangria because we were talking about how a lot of times in Italy, people will want to take a beautiful ripe watermelon and add some wine, ball it up, and make it into sangria, right? So I went out to the store and I wanted to find a white that had like melon notes to it, which, Pinot Grigio usually has that. And I came across Livio Faluga. And I was so excited because I worked for a long time at Frasca Food and Wine, which is a restaurant that's based around the region of Friuli in Italy. That's the northeast on the Adriatic Sea region. And Faluga is one of the older, larger, really well-known, really incredible wine estates. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait to like bring this on. And then I was like, you can't make sangria with this incredible wine. Like when I was working at Frasca, they were so passionate about Friuli that they took the whole staff to Italy to experience the region. They were like, if we're gonna really be this passionate and we want our cooks and our servers and everybody to be this passionate, we're gonna take the whole staff. I think it was great, it was amazing. And we got to go to this winery and we had this super long lunch, multi-courses, learned about everything. I mean, this is probably one of their more accessible bottles because I found it in like some random liquor store, but I was so excited to find it. Long story short, not putting it in the sangria today. So I figured, why not make some watermelon punch with the high noon? And watermelon, so look at this. I scooped out the middle, scooped out the ballies, and adding my high noon, right? And now, the fun thing about this is that I feel like salted watermelon is kind of like having a moment when it comes to flavors and like hydration beverages and stuff. So I figured like, why not truffle salted watermelon? This is actually really cool looking. So I added this, and I've been playing around with this today in the kitchen. Tell you, it's not for everybody. Oh my God, look how funny that is, right? Have that at your party and scoop that out, or just go for it. I mean, why not, right? It's actually really delicious. And the truffle, obviously it's not for everybody, but the longer it sits, the truffle aroma really kind of blends nice with that really fruity, floral, totally at its peak watermelon. And back to our beautiful Pinot Grigio, it does have melon notes. And I was very excited about that. And this I would definitely serve with prosciutto e melone. Now, the melons are totally ripe at their peak in Italy, and the prosciutto is incredible. This is prosciutto San Daniele. Usually I either see prosciutto di Parma or prosciutto San Daniele. This is the Friuli one. That's why I picked it out. And it's a good idea to buy the ones that are pre-sliced now. Like the thinner, the better when you're serving prosciutto. And a lot of times, like the deli slicers can't get it as thin. Like you need those fancy antique cranking Burkles. So buy the package, it's amazing. And I wanted to pair this with the organic black truffle oil. So our organic one is extra virgin olive oil. This is gonna have the most olive oil flavor, and that's super, it'll come out really nice. This is really simple. And so like, what is the most exciting thing about it is that when we're talking about this heat, right? The sun is just like, it's baking us and we're like, oh my God, I'm so hot. But the silver lining is that the produce is incredible. Summer produce at its peak. The sun has been beating down on all these fruits and vegetables, turning the starches into sugars, lowering the acidity, and everything is peak flavor, which is all the more reason to just focus on the ingredient. Recipes are like greater than the sum of their parts. That's the idea of a recipe. But when it's hot and you don't want to cook, it's great to just focus on the ingredients. And when you don't have to add anything, you want everything top-notch, high quality. So this is the time of year anyways that your ingredients are going to be top-notch, high quality. And the best thing about truffle is that we don't add truffle products to heat anyway. We don't want to cook them. It'll like eliminate some of the amazing flavor. So we just add it at the end. We make these incredible things. So one thing that I do with my family, and this started when I was a kid, I used to, turned into my favorite family meals was when it was summer and my dad would stop on the way home at this place called Heyday. And it was this gourmet food store and it was like magic. And he'd come back with like a gazpacho and a summer sausage and a smoked mozzarella and some really fresh tomatoes. And they would just put it out. And I'm like, this is amazing. Everything is so delicious, so good. And that became literally my favorite thing. It honestly turned into why I got so into food. I was like, gourmet food stores and incredible ingredients. This is awesome. I totally want to do it. So that's what we do now. And that's what I'm talking about is that no matter you're doing a weeknight family dinner, add some truffle oil. We're talking about our truffle oils today, but also the salts, also the zest. It'll elevate your weeknight meal. Or it's a great hack for entertaining. This weekend for the 4th of July party, actually last week we talked about burrata and peach and honey and I served it and it was such a hit. Everybody loves truffle. Just add it and everyone gets so excited. They're like, oh my God, you're serving truffles. So when we used to do this dinner when I was a kid, peasant bread was one of the things that we would bring home. Right? It's peasant bread butter. So I added some truffle salt to this butter, made a truffle butter, amazing. And if you really want to go nuts, you could even just put some of the straight oil out in the this lovely black truffle oil out just to dip. Amazing. It's so good. And we have the tomato and the fresh mozz. All this really needs is some crunchy salt, some sea salt, and we'll add, for this one, I'm thinking I want to add our organic white truffle oil. This one's same thing, extra virgin, so we're going to taste it the best on top. So all of a sudden, we've taken one really simple smorgasbord of food and made it next level amazing. In fact, I have, from all my pasta cooking today, I have a little end of a black truffle, and we can add this to some goat cheese on top. So if you're entertaining in the summer, it's really all about presentation. You don't have to go crazy cooking. You can just put things out make it really nice, and there you go, right? I put it on top of the goat cheese, putting this out, and I think, oh, we lost the summer sausage. Goodness gracious. Sorry about that. So gazpacho, all right, so I was talking about gazpacho, cold summer tomato soup, so good. It's just like the highlight of everything. It's got green pepper, cucumber, tomato, and red onion. And the black truffle oil, I think this one, just the regular, it's olive oil. Drizzling this on top. It's so beautiful because you can see, again, sorry I'm not closer up, but you can see the drizzle. And we have a truffle zest hot, and this is like my favorite thing because it's got a little cayenne in it, so it like perfectly pairs with that red pepper flavor that's in the base. And this is, oh my God, amazing. So, so, so fun. So it's so delicious. In fact, this, like you could add this. We make a sausage with Brooklyn cured, a salami, a soppressata, but they don't have it at my Whole Foods. So could just take this version, add some of my truffle zest to that, and it's kicking it up an incredible level. And one of the things that I love about being at Sabatino is that most of the people working here are Italians, true Italians. And it's so easy to get caught up in like Italian American cuisine or the like really fine Italian food that you get in restaurants. But I think what's amazing is knowing like what people cook on a day-to-day. Like what do they cook when they're hot? Like what's the real day-to-day cooking versus like what we find in restaurants, So I was told about insalata de riso, and it's a cold rice dish. And this one in particular has giardiniera, which is all the pickled vegetables and olives, mozzarella. And what I learned was that this has like a little bit of a mayo base in it, which I wouldn't have expected that. I sometimes make like a salmon brown or a salad, but I never would have thought to put mayo in it. So this was like very new to me. And that was, all the more reason to make a truffle aioli, just taking some mayo and adding our most neutral white truffle infused olive oil, but not the super rich extra virgin olive oil. And if you're adding additional oil to mayo, because it's pretty high in fat, you just want to add like a couple drops of water too, and then whisk that back in, and it'll emulsify right back up. And then I just folded this into this salad, and it's like, this is the kind of thing too that can sit in your fridge and be that much more incredible. Like just make it and then have it to go, So I'm really excited. I've cooled down, I'm pumped. And I think, get out the old Lazy Susan, spin that thing, put all your favorite delicious things. People are like saying now on social media, like, oh, like lazy girl dinner. This is just summer dinner. This is like totally amazing. But, add these amazing oils at the end, these truffle oils, so you can like wow your fam, wow your guests, and have the most incredible summer dinner without breaking a sweat in the kitchen. So thank you for joining today. This was lovely, and I'll see you next week.